This is mental. I have reviewed about 10 issues of Quasar, but never bothered to review what is indisputably the best story arc in his comic. This is by Marky Mark. He wrote all of Quasar except for one issue. And the art is by Greg Batman. This is issue 21, and ignore the confusing copy text up top saying that this is part 3 of 7, because it's more like part 1 of 5. The 2 issues before this, they are really a separate 2-part story that is only broadly linked to this one. They are good too, but with Quasar 21 all the way to the final part in Quasar 25, they are not just the high point of the series, but a high point of comics in general. This is the quintessential cosmic Marvel story that is not by Jim Starman. Also, you might be thinking that this woman in glasses with hair, you might be thinking she looks like she could be a beautiful bald lady, and you would be totally correct. We start with a prologue, and this is what really links it to the previous 2 issues. Issues 19 and 20, they have got these subplot pages at the start with the baddie Miles Strom. And he's gunning around the galaxy and meeting all these abstract Marvel Universe figures. Like, here he is meeting the concept of Oblivion, and we have got the return of Black Racer, who already appeared in Quasar's book. I reviewed it, it was issue number 2. Black Racer, he is Oblivion's servant, and on Earth, Quasar, he attends his father's funeral. His father died several issues ago, I think like issue 12. And they waited nearly 10 issues to finally have a funeral. And Quasar, he is having trouble dealing with losing his father and not being able to say goodbye to him. So we have got some character work, but alongside it, we have got tremendous artwork by Greg Batman. He, without a doubt, is the artist who defined the look of this book. He had this great style that made Quasar look unique. He didn't look like the traditional 90s hero with big muscles and big guns and big pouches. Greg Batman made Quasar look a bit like a character from an anime. And while Greg Batman has an individual style, he was also more than capable of doing all the big Jack Quimby style cosmic things and the zany alien designs. A lot of what we're doing here is showing Quasar struggling to cope and his supporting cast trying to help him. We have got his diversity hire best friend, we have got his love interest, we have got his other love interest who is bald but in a wig, and we have got Lightray from the New Gods. And Quasar, he is feeling very defeatist and miserable, and Moongarden is looking great, but I really wish she would ditch the wig. It's a bit too goofy for someone so sexy. And we get a scene where Quasar, he starts taking out all his anger on a random supervillain. Thermo, the thermodynamic man. He had a single appearance before this. He was one of them daft Spider-Man team-up baddies who only Marky Mark ever bothered to remember. And what happens is Quasar, he's quite brutally lamping this lad, and Lightray has to step in to stop him from almost killing the guy. And I know he's meant to be grieving, but Quasar could definitely do with a shave. Speaking of bald, hairless skin, Moongarden, she gets a great part in this issue, and it is coming up one of my favourite Moongarden moments ever. Quasar, he and his pals get invited to a rich man's mansion for dinner to discuss a potential work contract. And I'll spoil it up front and say this is all a ruse, and it is really Miles, and he's bringing them there for nefarious purposes. And the minute we step into the big creepy mansion, Moongarden senses that something is amiss. there is a psychic fear wave, and she senses it, and she's also affected by it, and she's barely able to speak from fear. So she can't quite warn Quasar and the others about what she has sensed. So then we are introduced or reintroduced to Miles, and he has got a harem of groupies who are fucking gorgeous. The idea is that they are meant to be sisters, but they look nothing alike, so they cannot be sisters, and it is not incest if I imagine having a foursome with them. And as I said, we have got this fantastic stuff going on with Moongarden fighting against the emotional influence and trying her best to save the others and warn them about this threat that only she perceives. While this is going on, we have got some really sinister and outrageously brilliant atmosphere building up with this weird Richard man that they slowly start to uncover is a creepy villain. This is really, honest to God, sublime stuff. It's just fucking top tier. It's God tier. I would be reading this out aloud, but I'd be reading like 12 pages worth of comic, and that's a bit much. And we've got the whole Moongarden thing. Moongarden, she has always been a very confident and in control person, and that is why she is so ruddy sexalicious. And here, she's having to battle through waves of fear that are being forced on her. So simmering away in the background with her, we are having some of the best character work ever done with her. And then we have got this great moment where she finally manages to fight through all the fear and overcome it and de-sum it. She pinpoints the source of all the psychic energies, and she attacks throwing a knife at the culprit. It is a butler who is really an unhuman. Don't forget, they are better than the excellent men. And the unhuman butler, he is the one who is dulling all their senses and instilling fear. But Miles, using his kinetic powers, he is able to stop the knife before it hits him. And then everything stands revealed. And Lightray, who already knows Miles from an Ad Roy Sternman Avengers story, he rushes to try and fight him, but he isn't successful because Miles uses his powers to force Lightray to have a sudden heart attack. So then we have got Quasar. He leaps into action, but Miles is able to hold him back as well. He uses his power to hold Quasar in place like he did with the knife earlier on. And Miles, his goal is he wants to steal Quasar's magic bracelets, the Quasar bands, so that he can become a truly cosmic entity. But plenty of baddies have already attempted to steal the Quasar bands, and with no success, since they cannot actually be removed from Quasar's hands. So Miles, he takes the kitchen knife that Moongarden hid at them, and he uses it to chop Quasar's hands off so he can claim the Quasar bands for himself. And this is the end, and it's only the first part of the story. They started with amputating the lead character. That should let you know how epic this one is gonna get. I actually thought reviewing this would be quite fun. Reading it certainly is, but I feel like it is a rubbish review because it's just me gushing over this. It's brilliant, honestly. The only improvement possible to making this comic is having Moongarden ditch her daft wig disguise, which she does next issue anyway. We have got my favourite writer, we have got art by a young superstar, we have got the start to an amazing story, we have some brill character stuff, we get that dinner sequence where the mood is just, it is, I say this without a hint of irony or sarcasm, that is maybe the greatest tension building ever done in a comic book. I rate this 7 thumbs up from 2 amputated hands.